Flush it down the toilet.
No, you
leave no evidence.
No, you don't flush it down the toilet, you dummy.
Hide the underwear like underneath, like.
Yeah, I did. I put it way at the bottom, and I made sure it was on the bottom, and then I threw paper on top of it.
These poor maintenance guys. They're gonna walk in.
No way they're gonna know unless they root around in the garbage. Why would they do that? But then, then I'm like very, very concerned that I stink. So I did my little dance out on the ice on Friday. Yeah, that's right. When I was doing that, I had no underwear on, and stink lines, and then I was so concerned.
That is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was the worst.
I didn't see any freaks though.
No. I tell you what, I am good for those once a year. I did it last year. Do you remember last year when I did it? Because during the YouTube days. All right, thank you.
It was bad. All right, have a good day, guys.
All right, enjoy the day. I'll talk to you in a few minutes. Love you too. Julie, say you love her.
Hey, you said before. Come on.
Julie, say you love her. That's the best you're gonna get.
I'll take that. That's better than bad.
Hold on, I think he's got one more question. No,
I was gonna ask you, how can you not control your bowels?
As you get older, your speech muscles don't work as well.
Yeah. I think that comes with the territory.
All right.
Okay.
See you guys.
What did you think it was when you asked about the race? Because I thought you were going to say, did you poop yourself at the race?
I was gonna say that, or you had a massive tumble.
Man, because when you asked about the race, I couldn't wait to get out of the segment. I potted the mics down because I was waiting for you to say, I thought you pooped yourself. Because you would have done it. You would have somehow been able to figure it out. And not shocking, but still shocking, right?
Yeah, we had just talked about this last week.
We did?
About how you do this all the time, and you were due for one, I think.
Oh, if we could find that audio.
If you have some ability to think of one that was, maybe someone who, because some of the people who listen to
about peeing in your pants, and I had brought up pooping in your pants.
That's easy to find then. That was when we played the Adam Sandler audio from Billy Madison when he
you guys are better at this than I am.
It's cool to pee your pants. That one. I remember saying that.
There you go. That actually wasn't bad. Okay, well, that will give us...
It's very easy to find.
That will give us a little bit of a spot that we can park on. Come back to that, perhaps. But yes, it's happened again. 800-785-1073 if you've ever experienced it. Always fun to throw it out to the audience. Who can relate to that? There's probably people listening who did it the same day as I did. Or maybe not. I'll bet you I've done that in my life. Not counting being a baby. I think I've done it more in my adult life than I did it when I was actually a baby wearing a diaper. Perhaps. No, I would say 10. I would say I'm good for 10 to 15. Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta get control on that. Maybe
I think it's only going to get worse.
I think you should probably eat some more fiber.
No, because that would make you more, that would make you more, affected. That would increase the frequency. That's what fiber would do. You want to eat like cheese and like peanut butter.
There you go, do that then.
Man, I had
Eat just blocks of cheddar cheese.
Yeah,
just walk around eating cheddar cheese.
What a mess. So, yeah. The fact that she was seated right there and I go, oh no. She's like, what? You're never going to get it again, didn't you? You did it again. You made it poop. 800-785-1073 on the Al and Bob's phone line. We go to Terry in GR. Hey, Terry.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How'd it go for you, buddy?
Oh, poop going great.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I got a story about your little poop story you got going on. I was in Target and shopped for a buddy of mine's son's birthday present. And for some reason, I thought the bathrooms were in the back of Target. So I headed towards the back, and the guy said, nope, they're up front. And it was the middle of summertime, I had shorts on. So I was walking towards the front, and it was starting to come out, so I stopped in the aisleway and tried to hold it, tried
was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can wait much longer. Like, I just need to make it inside.
Yeah.
I got in my car, stood up, and it let loose.
Oh.
Went all down my leg and everything. I had to go in the bathroom and do the same thing you did. I had to take off the boxers and just go commando the rest of the ride home.
It's probably a safe thing. Thank you, Trent. That's excellent. And to carry spare clothes with you in the event that this could possibly happen. If you're like me, you're good for this once a year. You need to have a disaster survival kit just in case it happens.
Or just don't do it.
It's tough, man. It's when you gamble on a fart. When you think 100%, oh, this is fart. And people fart all the time, and then they're like, oh no, matter. Oh no. Oh gosh.
You gotta stop that at all costs, though. Like, I've gambled and it hasn't come through, but
it's gonna happen. When it does, you have to admit it. You have to promise me that if it happens, you'll admit it.
I just don't. It just doesn't happen.
It hasn't happened once.
No, I stopped.
I remember the first time I did it. I was like 20. I think I've always had this problem.
You've always had this problem, yeah.
More of the best of the Eric Zane Show in just a few minutes on 107.3 WBBL.
Traffic is still proving to be uneventful, light all around West Michigan, especially on the expressways, so we have normal travel times. But within the city of Grand Rapids, your travel time may be extended because of word that signals are out all around the city. We have signals definitely that were out caused by a crash of a car into a pole that took down power lines on Michigan Street west of Fuller, and so Fuller in Michigan and Fuller over I-96, and traffic signals were out there. Then we heard the problems widespread. I'm Rob Weston, Fox 17 Traffic.
Sponsored by Jersey Mike's Subs. Want to win a rocket trip from Jersey Mike's and Pepsi? Stop into Jersey Mike's today to enter. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends August 14th. See official rules at PepsiRockThisWay.com. Watch grown-ups wolf down dogs at the Grand Coney on Michigan Street's Hot Dog Eating Challenge, Saturday, July 8th at 2. It's firefighters versus police. At 2:30, it's Team Gravy versus Team Zane. Watch as they gorge to win 352 Grand Coney dogs a year.
Hi, this is Mitch Albom inviting you to see Hockey, the musical. It's the hysterical story of 5 friends who band together to save the sport of hockey after God decides to destroy it. It's making its West Michigan premiere with performances between August 18th and 20th at Grand Rapids Wealthy Theater. Proceeds will benefit Hospice of Michigan to provide quality hospice care regardless of age, diagnosis, or ability to pay. Don't miss Hockey, the musical, and help Hospice of Michigan do great work. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Here's what's happening on the huge show that airs weekdays at 3 right here on 107.3 NGR. Coming up on Tuesday night, July 11th, you can join me for the Major League Baseball All-Star Game with Tommy Brand at the Brand Steakhouse and Grill on South Division near 44th Street. Then on Thursday, July 13th, I'll be broadcasting live from Fifth Third Ballpark with the Tigers Class A farm affiliate, the West Michigan Whitecaps. And then on July 20th, I'll be back at Fifth Third Ballpark, 7 p.m. It's the annual Miller Lite Field of Dreams baseball game. The Huge Show team taking on the Eric Zane Show team in